Rajnath Singh, but call it coincidence, quirk of fate, viewers. But this is for those who lost their loved ones at Pahalgam. The killer, the person who led those terrorists on ground, has been neutralized. Lashkar-e-Taiba's foreign terrorist Suleiman Musa or Hashim Musa, where the forces have been searching for him for the last 3 months. A month-long operation trying to track him down. They have now not just identified the hideout atop the Mount Mahadev peak, just short of Srinagar in the Dachigam region in Lidwas. That's it. 3 of those terrorists have been neutralized, and there is now confirmation that the main killer at Pahalgam, the foreign terrorist, the Pak-backed proxy who came here to kill those innocent people by identifying them as Hindus, has been neutralized by the armed forces along with 2 other FTs. So 3 foreign terrorists have been neutralized. All 3 Lashkar, the Lashkar hand, the responsibility of the Pakistanis, now there in front of the whole world. And those who are asking, what happened to the Bisaran attackers at Pahalgam? Where are they? Well, this is what the armed forces have said. Just as the debate on Operation Sindoor gets underway in the lower house in Lok Sabha, here is the news that comes that the forces under Operation Mahadev, after intense and fierce gunfight, have neutralized the terrorists in their hideout, and they have held them to account. So those who fired the Pak-sponsored bullets at the innocents at Pahalgam in the Bisaran Valley have now been accounted for, especially their lead, Hashim Musa, the person who has also masterminded some of the other attacks, including the ones on the Yatris and also at the Zedmode tunnel. He is the one who has now been accounted for. He has been killed. The forces now avenging Pahalgam. And for those who lost their loved ones at Pahalgam, if there was that lingering question, what about those who fired the bullets at our loved ones? The main mastermind, the terror infrastructure has been done away with, and that infrastructure destroyed. But what about those who were sent here on Indian soil to execute? Well, those pawns have also now been accounted for. These are the pictures, these are the recoveries. AK rifles have been recovered, and we will try and pictures. The faces have been masked, although because the way they have been accounted for has been such that it's quite gory, viewers. So we have to exercise discretion, although all of Bharat should see those faces who have been brought and how they have been left there inside this hideout after they tried to resist. The forces giving them no chance, pinning them. And it's very evident in the hideout itself that they had nowhere to go. They were stopped here inside this hideout, and right at the top. And this is the person who's been accounted for, here. This is Suleiman Musa or Hashim Musa. He has grown a beard. These are pictures from a little ago, but this is the official picture that has been used to identify one of the 3 terrorists as Hashim Musa. He was seen to have grown a beard, and he is among the 3 pictures. It was very easy to look at the pictures and say, oh, that looks like Musa, and is that Musa? And that's exactly what the forces have done. They have reconfirmed from the Mount Mahadev peak. The three bodies were brought down, and after they were brought down, they have been identified, and it is this man, Suleiman or Hashim Musa, the Lashkar foreign terrorist who has been responsible for a slew of attacks in the run-up to Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir. And he was seen as the commander or the person who was masterminding these attacks. Arunima now joining us. Arunima, the forces took their time to confirm because they wanted to be doubly sure, but they have been in hot pursuit for more than a month. The technical trackers also pointed that these could be the same who had made their way from Pahalgam, from Bisaran, and they were in those ranges it connected. But it took some time, but finally, these killers have also been neutralized. 3 FTs, including Suleiman Musa.
Yes, Hashim Musa alias Suleiman, who was a trained commando in Pakistan. He was allegedly loaned to Lashkar-e-Taiba. He was militarily trained. Allegedly, he has been active in Jammu and Kashmir for at least a year, if not more. He was the primary suspect in the Sonmarg Zedmore tunnel attack as well. His accomplice Junaid was gunned down. On Junaid's phone, Hashim Musa's photograph was found. NIA subsequently arrested 2 harbourers, and they are key evidence in this particular case, because they are the only ones who had seen Hashim Musa and his accomplices allegedly who went to Baisaran to carry out the attack. Hashim Musa and his aides. There will be other scientific tests carried out as well before officially the Indian Army or government of the day, since Parliament is in session, Prime Minister is slated to brief the House. Perhaps it will be left to the top leadership of the country to take the House into confidence. That official word will take some time. But what we are being told is that all indication seems to be that Hashim Musa alias Suleiman has been brought to justice. And very quickly, how is it that this massive breakthrough was achieved?
Yes.
There was a Huawei phone that had gone silent immediately after Baisaran attack. This particular phone was allegedly used by the terrorists in Baisaran, perhaps to tell their akas across the border about what they had done. Subsequently, even while this phone was being put on scanner, it had gone completely silent. 2 days ago in the Dachigam forest, suddenly a suspicious communication from this phone happened, and that is when finally a crucial breakthrough was achieved. So the security grid, which was relentless in its pursuit, has finally got that breakthrough, it seems. But officially they will apprise the Parliament only once they're absolutely sure.
Well, there is also the possibility that the other 2 terrorists could also be ones which are wanted, because in that attack which happened in December 2024 in this Dachigam region itself. Now, why is this Dachigam region so important? We'll try and connect with Akash and Ishan Wani also to understand. Ishan Wani is with us. Arunima, please stay on. Ishan, can you tell our viewers, why is this Dachigam region considered to be perhaps a hotbed for these Lashkar hideouts and FTs who are seen in this area?
Well, Anand, it's centric to everything that's happening in Kashmir. I am saying this because I'll give you an idea. Let's straight to the visuals. You will notice over there these mountain peaks. These are interconnected. From one side, you can reach to central Kashmir, Sonmarg, where the Gagangir attack took place. And on the other side, if you keep trekking, you will reach towards Pahalgam and parts of South Kashmir. So this has become a hotbed just because Kashmir, particularly Srinagar, was silent. And all these years, there was peace. And that's why they tried to cave in their hideouts, particularly in these mountain areas, so that they could stay there for a very long time. But because of the operational capabilities that the forces have now, particularly in the upper reaches, as I was speaking to a top army commander just a couple of days back, he told me that, what we are doing is that we are, rather than stationing ourselves at the bottom, we have gone up and we are stationed there wherever we receive inputs. And we are trying to ensure that the maximum number of encounters take place, maximum number of contacts take place. That didn't happen earlier. Because what used to happen is that they used to receive input and then they used to act on the input. And by the time they used to act on the input, it would take them a couple of hours to trek there. So that's what was happening. But now with what we have seen is that the forces are stationing themselves up there. The para forces are there. Every kind of security force person is up in the mountains, and they're trying to ensure that while they're stationed there, they maximize their contact and they're able to eliminate anyone who is troubling them and particularly trying to carry out attacks at the security forces. These are the mountain ranges as you see behind me. There's also a tight security bandobast around this particular place. Massive security arrangements have been made to ensure that that they do not escape from the location. Last night, Vijay, you will see still the teams of the Indian Army, Jammu and Kashmir Police are stationed in numbers, and they are trying to ensure that they are dealing with this operation with a swift hand. Because of the fact that this operation is going on in a mountainous area, so this is the last motorable road, and from where you don't have access to any other location. And this is why, security forces are from here onwards not allowing any media personnel to go, because the operation is still under progress. But you will notice that the Indian Army teams and other forces are stationed in numbers to ensure that if there are any further leads that they could develop, Ishan, they are able to basically carry out this operation swiftly.
Yeah, Ishan, 2 things I want to ask you if you can hear me. One is, have the 3 bodies been brought down? And is it possible that along with Suleiman, there could also be Jibran among the 3 neutralized? This is the Dachigam, the guy who escaped, the terrorist who escaped when Junaid was neutralized in December 2024. Well, we'll try and get Ishan Wani back because viewers, there could be more than 2 wanted terrorists among these 3 FTs who've been neutralized. One is Suleiman, the other one is Jibran, who had escaped in December 2024 when another terrorist, Junaid, had been neutralized. All of them FTs, when that means foreign terrorists. Let's go back to Ishan, have these three bodies been brought down? These three, the terrorists, have their bodies been brought down from Mount Mahadev, from the peak? And is it possible that even Gibran could be one of the three who's been neutralized?
Anand, I'll give you about how the area is. It's extremely tiring, difficult. It's sunny, it's hot. It wouldn't be easy to bring them down. It will take them a couple of hours before they bring any bodies down. It was not an individual operation. It was an operation which was well thought about. It was an operation where every tactic and move was on display from the Indian Army to ensure that they don't run away from this area. Both technical input and human input were generated. Technical input that their communication device was picked up, and also human input that there are some nomads who live in these areas, generally travel from Jammu to Kashmir in the winters of Kashmir, during the summer period of Kashmir, and they were also questioned whether they have seen any movement. 3 people were seen moving in the area, and that was a confirmation. But the army is still checking that there could be 2 more who could have escaped from the vicinity, and that's why they are searching through the area, with all their might and force, because they don't want to leave this operation with any chances or anyone move out of this area. This is the first major operation in Kashmir post Pahalgam, and if Vijay can show you that, look at that mighty and giant peak, and behind that is Mahadev Peak. Mahadev
Right.
Peak is a mountain peak from where a lot of trekkers generally go for trekking, but they have also taken precautions. Since police has already issued advisories to them, and that is where what they're trying to do, their modus operandi is to ensure they sustain for a very long time without staying in touch with the local contact.
Ishan.
Even the nomads cannot give precise.